Next, I'd like to talk about some of the wetter climates. And as we go from, we have the driest are the deserts, and the next ones, driest are the steppe or grasslands. And then beyond that, we have what are called Mediterranean communities. And Mediterranean biomes or communities are associated with the Mediterranean climate. And so much of California that is a bit drier, but still fairly wet, is considered a Mediterranean climate and part of the Mediterranean biome. Here's a map of the Mediterranean biome. A little hard to see there, but that's California there. This is the Mediterranean Sea in Europe, part of Chile, South Africa, and Australia. And this is typically what Mediterranean environments look like. For example, this is in Southern California. Here's a closer look of that biome map. If you see California here, there is a sort of a ring around the Central Valley that is part of the Mediterranean biome. So from the Bay Area south to Southern California and what's called Cismontane or coastal California, down into Baja California, and then also along the foothills east of the Central Valley. So for example, Table Mountain near our school, that area would be part of the Mediterranean biome. The areas in green here would be a bit wetter and are going to be more forested biomes that we'll discuss later. The typical vegetation, the most characteristic is chaparral. These are drought-resistant shrubs, more common in Southern California and a bit less in Northern California. Up where we are near the Sierra Nevada foothills, we also have oak woodlands, and that's another type of Mediterranean vegetation where we have scattered oaks with grasslands in between. So if you were to start to drive into the Sierra Nevada from Fresno, you would quickly encounter this Mediterranean biome of scattered oaks. So Mediterranean environments can be highly productive agricultural regions and have a high diversity of crops. The dry summer allows things to grow well, including things like grapes and almonds, which are kind of uniquely Californian crops. However, irrigation is very important because of the timing of the growth. That because we have Mediterranean climates have dry summers, that summertime is when we need irrigation the most. Outside of so for sea climates that are a bit wetter than Mediterranean, we have what's called mid-latitude mixed forest. And that's much of the forested areas in California can fall into that category, especially the wetter parts in the Northern California and the lower elevations of the Sierra Nevada. So this is showing the distribution of sea climates and mid-latitude forests, including parts of California. They go along with the Köppen Sea climates, which are moderate and wet, including humid subtropical, which are typical in the US southeastern United States, and marine west coast, which can extend from sort of Northern California further up. This is a bit wetter than Mediterranean. Actually, this is not marine west coast. This is a southern hemisphere example of humid subtropical. But if we look back, the area, these are sea climates. In the south, it's Mediterranean. Northern California up, it's a bit more marine west coast. The vegetation is a mix of forest, both broadleaf and coniferous trees. And each one is adapted to different local conditions like soil or elevation. Many of these are deciduous, which means they lose their leaves during the wintertime.